change your mind on the first in line.
Hey everyone, back at you again today with another movie review. Of course, today I will be talking about the latest from writer-director Taika Waititi, Next Goal Wins, starring Michael Fassbender, Oscar Kitely, Kaimana, David Fane, Rachel House, Belua Koele, Will Arnett, and Elizabeth Moss. Now, look, as I stated before, there were a couple films from TIFF that I did not review, and this was one I was waiting on till we came closer to release. Because, look, I mean, I gotta say right off the bat, I'm a huge Taika Waititi fan. Hunt for the Wilder People was one of my favorite films from 2016, as was Jojo Rabbit in 2019, which won him the Oscar for screenplay. And so, obviously, I was naturally very excited to see what he would do next. And seeing Taika Waititi in person at the Toronto International Film Festival was really worth the price of admission alone. If you remember from my out-of-theater reaction, I mentioned how he literally punched out a microphone on stage. And it was just absolutely incredible. I mean, the energy that man has, the sense of humor that he brings out just in his day-to-day interactions. This guy is hysterical, as are most of his movies. And we've seen him insert humor in very dramatic situations, like something like Jojo Rabbit, but we've seen him in that film handle it with such a balance that really doesn't undercut the drama of the film. And of course, I mean, he's done Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder, and as much of a success as Thor Ragnarok was, you started to see it slip a little bit in Thor Love and Thunder, where he really doubled down on the humor that was present in Thor Ragnarok to the point in which it was overbearing and was being inserted in places where it didn't need to be. And so, that was one thing that I was concerned going into this film. But I really thought that this was going to be the return to form that Taika Waititi needed. This story, obviously following the real-life tale of the football team from American Samoa trying to at least get one goal in the history of their team to qualify for the Nationals. And it's a very intriguing story. You can pull a lot of humor out of that. The fact that this film, all it relies upon is them scoring this one goal. And I think the conceit is pretty funny within itself. And the fact that it actually happens, kind of exasperates the buffoonery that could be played up in this film. And Taika Waititi certainly does that. Much to the derailment of the rest of this film. Look, I gotta tell you guys, unfortunate as it is to say, this is easily Taika Waititi's worst movie. Not that it's particularly bad, but I just think Next Goal Wins is one of those sport formula movies that obviously makes fun of the tropes present in other formula sports movies and even references some blatantly in the film, but it still follows every single trope to the point that you're, one, not surprised, but two, it doesn't make it that much better just because you're pointing it out. I think this film has surprising moments. It has quite a few great laugh-out-loud moments. But I think, yet again, this is the same instance where he doubles down on the humor present in Thor Love and Thunder. Yeah, that should tell you everything you need to know. Some of the jokes here are just so dragged out to the point of tedium that I was shocked at Taika Waititi, being as smart of a filmmaker and a guy that he is, that he would have chosen to drag that out. Like Wes Anderson, but I feel like even worse, Taika Waititi is slowly becoming a caricature of himself, and I feel like that comes ahead in this movie. But before I get back into that, let's talk about the cast, because yet again, another almost negative I have about this film. I never thought I'd be saying this. Michael Fassbender. look, I thought that this was Michael Fassbender's worst performance until something happens in the third act with his character, because he's the coach and, you know, he's the curmudgeonly guy who doesn't believe in them, and then, of course, he has to, you know, find that confidence in his team. We've seen this a million times before. And the thing with his character is there's something in his life that is very subtly set up, and I think it's effective when something in the third act is revealed about him, and that was really the emotional highlight, the most unexpected moment in the entire movie, not to give anything away. And I think that was where Michael Fassbender truly shined as an actor, because this guy is amazing. I couldn't believe watching this film that I thought that he had been miscast. I really, genuinely, truly feel that way. He feels so out of place in this movie. Not that he's bad, because he does bring it in a few scenes. But regardless, it isn't enough to save this movie, quite frankly. I think Oscar Kitely's a standout in this, though. Even if his character is a bit overbearing at times with the humor, he definitely delivers it with much gusto and bravado that really show off his impeccable sense of comedic timing. But I think Kaimana, who plays Jaya in this, the transgender woman on this team, really the relationship she has with Michael Fassbender's character is the emotional highlight of the film. But even then, I thought it could have been delved into more, and I thought they were really phenomenal in this. Definitely would like to see them in more projects going in the future. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's, yet again, it has a lot of great laugh out loud moments. You of course are going to get that in every Taika Waititi movie, but this film misses way more than it hits or scores goals, you could say, because this certainly isn't going to make you be running to the middle of the field and cheering with your team. I mean, look, my TIFF audience ate it up. They were loving it, but I'm like, why is this, like, not to take away from anybody's experience, but like, what is it about this movie is so moving? Like, yeah, maybe a couple moments, but I guess I just don't understand at this point, after seeing so many movies like this, why this was so effective for some people. If you want to tell me down in the comments below, please do, because I genuinely do not get it. One thing I do love about this movie is how respectful they are of the culture. Of course, Taika Waititi being Samoan himself, there's obviously a bit of his own personal ethnicity slipping in there, and of course he's going to be respectful. He even brought on some indigenous people from that community on stage, and that was a really nice moment. But, you know, yet again, it's like this film's got the culture going for it, a few good laughs, but this is nothing compared to what Taika Waititi has done in the past, and I'm just worried if he keeps going down this route that we're going to experience a landslide for Taika Waititi's career, which would be very unfortunate, because this guy is brilliant. I mean, he was funnier on stage than the actual movie was, and I think that says a lot. I mean, this man's got the juices flowing. I don't think that will ever stop until the day he dies. He's brilliant. I love him. But this is not it. Really, check this out if you want to. I wouldn't rush out to see it at all. But, you know, if you like this sort of thing, okay, sure, check it out. But the humor it's I don't know. I think it's going to miss for a lot of people. It was really the only feature-length film I saw TIFF that I did not like, amongst a whole pool of films that I absolutely loved. So yeah, I'm going to give Next Goal Wins a 5.5 out of 10. Almost enjoyed this, but it just goes way too far in on the humor, and it just became very overbearing by the end of the film. And it's sad to say that I don't like a Taika Waititi film, but here we are. Even thought Thor: Love and Thunder was okay, but this is just a notch down from that. And I hope that he comes up with something that really revitalizes his career, because he certainly is still very well respected in the film community, and you know, he's an auteur like no other, and I can't say that about many directors being that. So best of luck to Taika Waititi with his next film, but let me know what you guys thought about Next Goal Wins. If you have seen it, are you excited for its release this weekend? Let me know in the comments below, and of course smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if this is your first time coming here and clicking on this video. We really appreciate the support. going to be bringing more reviews, some of which I may have mentioned in the last video or so. But yeah, this is a very, very exciting time for movies. I might not get to all the movies coming out this weekend, just because I need to rewatch the Hunger Games film, so I'm not going to be reviewing the Ballad of Songbirds or whatever, even though I hear it's not too bad. But next weekend, for sure, you're going to hear a lot more from me, my thoughts on films, and of course, in the meantime, you guys stay well, and yeah, have a good week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.